This is Straight Talk with Atlanta native Greg Fann, the preacher man, and his sidekick Shanan Jones. Frank discussions of issues affecting the ATL, Fulton County, the state of Georgia, the nation, and around the world. And now, here they are, live and in living color, the team of Jones and Fann, the preacher man.
Well, welcome to Straight Talk with yours truly, Greg Fann, the preacher man. Oh boy, God, Lord have mercy, he done came back. He been resurrected. Big Papa been resurrected. How you doing, Big Papa?
I'm doing just great, Bishop. How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing wonderful. Greg Adams stood in for you 1 week, and I had to do it last week by myself. But it's all good. You know how we do it.
I know how we do it, Doc.
I know you've been bogged
Well, the
down.
people already know what it is. They know when they don't see me, it must be about them contract negotiations. They know.
Y'all, you know this man got a what they call it, a perpetual contract, which is it's got a lot of zeros.
Sound like Don King.
Listen, tonight's program, we're going to be talking a lot of Shanan and I'm going to be talking a lot of stuff. I actually really, people are waiting for us to continue to just kind of unpeel some of this stuff that's really going on. I'm getting a lot of people. I know you are. You seeing people in stores and stuff, and people telling you like they telling me they see the Straight Talk and they enjoy it. But tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to do a lot of unraveling of some of the stuff that we see, because we've been dealing with this stuff with Donald Trump for 4 years, 8 years, 8 years, 8 years, pretty much 8 years.
8 years.
8 years. Ever since you packed him up and sent him out the White House. Now he back again.
Can you believe it?
Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Listen, this is what we're gonna do. First of all, we're gonna ask you to go around the world with Shanan and I, and subscribe to our channel. Continue to subscribe to the channel. Bring those numbers up now and share with others. And let them hear what we're saying. And because we ain't talking about nothing but straight talk. This is straight talk. What we're talking about. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and send your news and information to Miss C. Like us, subscribe, make comments, and share. Or you can always send your information to Miss C at straighttalknews.1362.gmail.com. That's Straight Talk News 1362@gmail.com. All right, we're going to be back on the other side with Miss C, Shanan and I. We're going to have a lot of things to talk to you about. Don't you go nowhere. You stay right there because Shanan and I will be back with you after Miss C.
Hi, Miss C here with your 3-minute news blast or more or less. Hope you're doing well out there. Listen, the Department of City Planning for the City of Atlanta invites you to a small group meeting with other faith-based leaders to discuss the update to Atlanta's Comprehensive Development Plan, that's Plan A, and zoning ordinance rewrite. The aim of the meetings is to get direct input and feedback from the faith-based community. 5 meetings have been organized. The first meeting will be held February 27th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at Liberty International Church, 1362 Metropolitan Parkway in Southwest Atlanta, where our own Bishop Greg Fann, the preacher man, is overseer. February 28th from 10:30 to 12:30 at West Hunter Street Baptist, 1040 Ralph David Abernathy Boulevard in Atlanta. March 4th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at First Iconium Baptist, 542 Moreland Avenue in Southeast Atlanta. Also, March 5th from noon to 2 p.m. at True Light Baptist, 47 Anderson Avenue in Southwest Atlanta. And the final one, March 10th from 10:30 to 12:30 p.m. at Trinity AME, 604 Lyndhurst Drive in Southwest Atlanta. Okay, so there are 5 opportunities for you to get in on these group meetings concerning the Atlanta's Comprehensive Development Plan. Okay, now, the Tanda Canyon Empowerment Conference will be held March 6th and 7th at the Douglasville Conference Center. That's 6700 Church Street in Douglasville. Facilitators include Dr. Ashante Odom, Hannah Marie Miller, Gerald Willis, and Dr. Karen Sinclair. Bishop Michael Canyon will be the keynote speaker. To get more details, call 404-228-6969, or you can log on to tandacanyon.org. That's TANDACANION.org. And listen, before we go, there are 4 things that I'd like for you to do for us. I'd like for you to like us. And I'd like for you to subscribe to us. And those 2 little buttons, or however they're made, it should be on the front of your screen, and you just punch them, okay? And then number 3, we'd like for you to leave comments. Let us know how we're doing, okay? And number 4, we'd like for you to share us. Don't keep Straight Talk News to yourself. There are some things you want to keep to yourself, but not Straight Talk News. Let everybody know what you know, okay? And listen, we'll see you right back here next time. And I've got a birthday coming up, and I want to just thank God for allowing me to see another year. And when we come back the next time you see me, I would have had that birthday, and I'm going to tell you about it. Okay? Now, in the meantime and in between time, may the Lord God bless you real good. Bye now.
Well, we're back. Thank you, Miss C, for your news and information. Hey, listen, guys, listen. Don't if you get an opportunity to go to Dr. Canyon and Bishop Canyon event, please patronize them. Go and be a part of that. And for those of you who are pastors in the Atlanta area, listen, you need to be at this faith meeting that we're going to have to talk about the comprehensive land use plan that will deal with zoning of your property, land use of your present property, how the land will be used in the future. And you need to be able to voice your opinion about it, because from the faith community's perspective, we're very much concerned about how the land will be used. So at our church at Living International on Thursday, we will be there. Thursday we'll be there at 27 at 6 p.m. We'll be serving food. So come on out, and you don't have to worry about dinner. We'll have something for you. How about it? Something to eat. How about that? Now, Shanan, let's start this discussion. I want to start off talking about, I heard, I'm sure you did too. Donald Trump said he wants every person that is not I would say an Anglo-Saxon. I wouldn't go that far. There's not an Anglo-Saxon that comes from another country that would be born, even though they were born in the United States, they are not naturalized citizens. They're not naturalized citizens. Now,
Right.
we know that people have been considered naturalized citizens ever since I can remember. If you whatever country you came from, and
My wife is one.
yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out what is he talking about and why is he doing this? And the judge, the federal judge, ruled no. He held up on that. So then they took it on up to the Ninth Circuit, and the Ninth Circuit said they're not going to deal with that. So he's moving it on to the Supreme Court, and hopefully they'll have some sense this time, because let's look at this, man. How many people that lives in this country that have parents that was from another country, but they're now natural born citizens because they were born in the United States. So, that's I'm gonna let you take it there, because it does something to me when he keep coming up with all these executive orders. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of in the Bible, the kings who signed decrees. That those decrees became what? The law of the land, because the king could sign the decree that said this is the law. That's what happened to Daniel and the 3 Hebrew boys. He signed a decree that if they didn't serve that God and then worship their God, that they would be thrown in the fire furnace. But you know what happened? The Bible said they were thrown in the fire furnace. But what they said, the God that we serve, he may not deliver us, but one thing for sure, he able. So God is able to see us through this.
Yeah, they put him in that fiery furnace, and an immigrant got in there and kept the flames from burning them up, immigrated into the fire. I accidentally said my wife was a natural born. She's a naturalized. That's the next thing they're going to attack.
Sure.
Is those citizens that have come from distant lands that are brown skinned and black skinned that are naturalized. I'm just very suspicious of a lot of what's going on right now. When you ask the question, what is Trump doing? What's he up to? I don't think he knows what he's up to outside of playing to the more nationalist and white supremacist
Mm.
factions of his organization. Trump is quickly losing a lot of support. He's losing a lot of support, Bishop, from his own Anglo-Saxon base, his Republican MAGA base. He's also losing some support from some of the more splinter groups that came that broke off from their base groups to come over and support him because of whatever reason they didn't like what the Democratic Party was doing, or they felt that they could get a better deal with a Trump. So a large portion of Latinos and some a portion of black men and whatnot. Then you look at the administration, and not only does the administration not look like the this this great um, uh, 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 um, gathering of people that came together to make a Donald Trump's next term a success. He has one African American on his cabinet, and he put him over HUD. I guess that's a House Negro. I don't know. He put him over HUD, and a former NFL player, and then immediately began cutting uh, the HUD budget in the midst of the housing crisis, what affordable housing, and a lot of what we are seeing happening throughout the major cities of this country. And then the other implications of what goes into HUD. You begin start cutting SNAP programs and all of that. You want to push more people into starvation, and dare I say, push more people into crime. Because if I can't afford the eggs, but my children are hungry, I just might be compelled to grab the eggs and eat anyway, as a way of throwing up my hands to a society that is vastly moving away from not only the middle class, but moving away from the upper middle class and moving away from the lower classes as well. So there's a great big, there's a great, Trump has a great problem that is beginning to amass. He's trying to do some things. He wants to do a statue for Kobe Bryant and to appease, I guess, the African American vote. He had Tiger Woods, who couldn't articulate to us what the hell his nationality was or what his ethnicity was. He created it. He cannibal last something. I don't know, a bunch of, but he pulls him out for Black history. We have always claimed Tiger, but Tiger didn't always claim us. And so, but he pulled him out. And then there are some other things that he's kind of piecemealing, but it's too little, too late. Look, at the Defense Department, they tried to get rid of King Day. They tried to get rid of. They said we wouldn't mess with Juneteenth, but a lot of the other days that they consider to be DEI days, woke days, they got rid of those, including Jewish History Month, Women's History Month,
They did.
and then in the end, you furlough or you give buyouts to the Central Intelligence Agency, not a portion of it. You give a buyout to the entire Central Intelligence Agency. You get rid of the IGs, so there is no oversight. You move your people out, and I hope we talk about Project 2025 because I have a hermeneutic of, I have a not a suspicion, but I have a theory as to why Trump is trying to move all these people out, and I think that he's creating the deep state. I think he's actually creating a deep state, and
Well,
then
well,
getting rid of the generals.
let me just
Let me
stop you
just
right
say one
here.
thing, and I'm done.
Okay,
Getting
go
rid
ahead.
of the
Okay.
generals
Mm.
and getting rid of the second African American general that we've had to be over the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Getting rid of him and seven other generals, including three women. So it's just interesting. But go ahead, Bishop.
Well,
I
I
could go
mean,
on and on.
yeah, you threw a lot on the wall. You threw a lot on the wall. You threw a lot on the wall. And I'm right now. I mean, we're gonna deal with all of that, and as time will permit. But I want to deal with the citizenship stuff because we looking at it. Trump wife Ivanka is not naturalized, right? And his son is not is going to have to be deported or should be. JD Vance's wife, who their child is not um, You know, I mean, if she's a foreign, she's from India. So I mean, so what do you do with all of the people from India who have all these businesses in throughout the country? They own almost all the hotels and all the mom and pop stores. I mean, so what do you do with all of those people when you start talking about they're not naturalized citizens, but they were born here in the United States? I'm just looking at what is his logic and how is he pulling? He's pulling the thread, but he's unraveling and changing the country as we know it. And and as you just talked about with DEI and some other things and all these people that he's laying off that he's having to call back, like the nuclear people, right? All the people he done fired all them people with no thought, listen to Elon Musk, right? And he done let Elon fire all those people, and now they're saying we got to bring them back, but you don't have any information and they don't even know how to get them back. You know what I mean? No thought of what you're doing, just doing it because you say you're saving taxpayers' money, but you're not saving taxpayers' money because what you're doing is you're putting money, as they've said, or Congress said, you're just putting money in big business pocket, in the wealthy's pocket. You know, I mean, if we want to just get right on into it, let's talk about this thing with Ukraine and Putin, and he's gonna blame Ukraine for the war. He blaming Ukraine for the war between Russia and Ukraine when we know, and it's been already proven that they attacked Ukraine. But now he's saying his friend, they didn't do that. We didn't do that. See, one thing that Trump does to us over and over again, and people buy into that, is we believe our lying eyes. We don't believe our lying eyes. We believe his lips, what he says with his mouth. I'm going to lower food prices. I'm going to lower the economy. I'm going to bring down the prices of this, and I'm going to bring down the price. Eggs at an all-time high. I mean, groceries are all-time high. Things are higher. He hasn't brought anything down. He's just creating more and more. When you start laying off that many people across the country, that's loss of income. Loss of income means there's no money to spend. There's no money. People are going to lose houses. Kids who are going to school going to lose money to be able to go to school. But we want to have the best, the brightest, and the best and talented. But they can't go to school because they ain't got the money to go to school because now their parents out of work. They can't get no work. I mean, so what are you doing? How are you thinking about this thing? I mean, and Elon Musk himself is a foreigner. You got a foreigner, and you're trying to send people back. Talking about they're not citizens, but you got a person that's a foreigner over everything in the Treasury Department, all the money, all of our information, and then you sit up there and talk about, well, I'm smart. I'm smart. I don't know what kind of smart you are because you may be smart in one sense, but you ain't got no common sense. Like that. And common sense is not common to all people. And for those people who vote for him, they've been bamboozled, tricked, and everything else, and now they're feeling the crunch. And I'm looking at the congressmen and the senators saying, man, we got to do something because even though this is a red state, these people in red state raising hell, so they losing their job. They losing their benefits. They losing things. They raising sand with them. And, you know, like Georgia is a possible swing state, but there are states that's not swing state. They're moving towards swing state because of what he's doing. And he's the representative of the Republican Party. I mean, he is totally out of control. And they're allowing him to do that. If the test of this is that you said this years ago when we were talking about the court, when he was stacking the courts his first term, right? We talked about that, right? We talked about that. All those vacancies that had to be filled and how he stacked the court. Now we see the court, the people that he put on the courts are now they're turned against him. I would hope, and because the judge who said that about the citizenship was one of his appointees. And then he got one that was on the Ninth Circuit that's one of his appointees. They're now saying, oh, no, we can't do this. This is going too far. It's going too far. And I just, you know, it's just, to me, it's one of the saddest things that could happen to our country for us to sit back. I mean, the American people and those who we elected. We don't hold those people accountable to stop it, who have the power to stop it. Shame on us. Shame on us.
You're absolutely right, Bishop. And just to grab some of what you said, it's always important to remember that Donald Trump is an Archie Bunker Republican with Bull Connor sensibilities. And so we always have to understand that about him. Now, regarding this issue of the 14th Amendment, this issue of birthright citizenship, which was created, 14th Amendment was created for slaves and those children born African slaves that were on this soil. Okay, so that's that. So an attack on this, there's a lot of masking with this stuff. All of this. Well, we want to make sure that we're getting rid of woke and DAI, which woke never meant what they meant woke meant anyway. Woke is everybody better be woke right now to what's going on.
You
Everybody
better
better be
believe it. You
woke.
better believe
MAGA better wake up. Everybody better be woke to what's going on right now. They tried to put it in one way, and then they said, well, we're trying to we want to get rid of DEI so that we can level the playing field. We want to get rid of DEI so that we can make sure that merit gets, well, if it's merit over everything, we wouldn't see half of his cabinet, and he wouldn't be there if it
You're
wasn't
right.
merit.
You're
Okay, so
right.
that's the first thing. But the other issue is on this birthright issue. This is an issue of birthright versus bought right. The poor children that are born in this city, brown and black children are born in this country, excuse me, have birthright 14th Amendment protection. But Trump and his racist cabal want to attack that. But and when you flip it and you put $400 billion with it, or $400,000 million, that's how much money Elon, that's his net worth. That's not his gross. Elon Musk go to the bank. You go to the bank to see how much I got in there. Pull up, you got, $1,500, $4, no dollars. When he go to the bank, it says he has $400,000 million. Okay, that means that Elon Musk could literally he could spend his money lavishly every day and would not outspend his money for 100 years. Okay, that's how much money he has. So he is not a birthright citizen, but he's a bought right citizen. Melania Trump is not a birthright citizen, but she is a bought right citizen. Question is, who bought her? And the art of the deal guy is the one that would tell you he did. And so that's what's going on with all of what we're seeing. It has nothing to do with what is being said. It has everything to do with what you are seeing. And it's going to get deeper. As you brought in attack, I said I grabbed some of it. As you brought in remixing the Russian invasion, to say that Putin caused, to say that Zelensky, the Vladimir Zelensky caused it, but then he caused it, but you don't want to say Israel caused Hamas. So Hamas attacked Israel, but Putin attacked
Ukraine.
Excuse me. Hamas attacked Israel,
Right.
but Zelensky or Ukraine was the attacker of Russia. It's a complete reversal of everything.
Right.
And so you can't go by what's being said. You have to reverse it and look at everything that's going on. Hamas attacked Israel, and Putin attacked Ukraine. But that's why I need to get rid of the CIA. And that's why I need to put my people in place, because the deep state, Bishop, that he's creating is that he does not trust the fact that the generals are going to trust him as commander in chief, that the intelligence community is going to trust him. They're going to do everything they can in all of these branches of government to protect the American people and the integrity of this country and to follow the letter of the law. The reason why I have to get rid of the IGs, the reason why I have to move people out and put our people in who have Stockholm's MAGA syndrome is because I have to be able to control and make sure that my agenda can happen so that we can control the electorate, control the executive for the next 50 years, which goes back to what Steve Bannon was saying. So that's what is going on. That's what they're trying to do. And in doing that, they're creating a deep state because the intelligentsia that they're moving out that has a responsibility for for protecting and monitoring the governance of this nation in the various areas now have to go on a dark web channel to be able to talk to each other to stave off World War III from coming.
Well, excellent point. Excellent point. But you talk about getting back to Project 2025. There you go. There you go right there. There you go right there. Because in that, and we talked about that too. I don't know how long we talked to people about on this program about Project 2025. Now it's unfolding. The guy said that when they did it with the Harris Foundation and all of them came together, all these companies came together, we'll talk about the boycott a little bit, all these companies came together to plan this. They said that this plan will be the playbook for who the next president of the United States. That they will have to implement what they say. He came in office, 36 executive orders made the first 2 weeks, carrying out Project 2025, getting rid of this department, getting rid of this, getting rid of this, getting rid of that, because that's what they plan to do. To your point, to infiltrate how government, and they didn't care. They just wanted yes people. He just wanted yes people.
That's right.
You don't have to be qualified. Just a yes people. Just a yes person. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, they ain't got no business being over no Dole committee. Marjorie Taylor ain't got no business being over no Dole committee. And Bill Kennedy ain't got no business being over the health department. Come on. And you got this guy Patel who's gonna be over the FBI. Really? Woo. And then you talking about people who are not naturalized citizens, and then you gonna put somebody over the FBI. Get real. Who
said that he wants to turn the FBI headquarters into a museum on day 2 and fire half the FBI agents?
I'm like, really? Really? What are you doing? And why are we allowing him to do it to destroy our country? Because and I understand that one of the congresspersons put in articles of impeachment, but they got to vote, man. They got to vote because they got to stop this madness. Because the people in this country, they're already upset because, as you said, grocery prices are high. People don't have places to stay. People sleeping under bridges. People losing their life savings. It's just crazy. You close down the Alabama, the people who came out for you, Alabama, the state who voted for you, you shut down their research center. You shut down in Huntsville and in Birmingham at the college. You shut it down in places where people voted for you. Even in Georgia, you closed down, you fired all those people at CDC and you justified, and you got Elon Musk on at a hearing and a meeting and holding a saw and saying he couldn't. And what are these people who live in Georgia, where they going to, who work at CDC? Where are they going to go to work at now? What jobs are they going to have? And then when you talk about buyout packages, what are the buyout packages? What about people who are almost ready to retire, a year away from retirement? Now you're gonna get rid of them. So what happens to their retirement? It's all those things that that make people bitter. You creating turmoil within our country, turning hatred within our country, where we turn on one another. We turn on one another because when you said, "Hey, listen, if I can't buy a dozen eggs, I'm gonna steal a dozen eggs. If I can't buy this, one thing that's already happening on the home issue. You got people squatting in vacant houses now. Already, you move out your house, somebody that moved in your house, and it costs you take an arm and a leg and more to get them out of your property. Right now.
And it ain't Mark Spain doing it.
It ain't Mark Spain doing it. It's already happening. And then you going to further exacerbate the problem by doing what you're doing as opposed to finding solutions to help these people. Man, we can go on and on about this because it's really sad that this country has come to the place that we have a leader that really don't care about this country, who took an oath of office to protect the Fann and all the things that he said, the lie that he told. You know, I mean, it's sad. It's just sad, and that we have people that are so immoral, so unethical that they'll go along with that foolishness and allow him to do that on threats that they can't win their seat back again because Elon Musk he's gonna run somebody against you. But let me tell you something for those of you who buy into that. The people put you there, and the people will take you out. If you ain't doing what the people want, the people will come together. They will organize and get you out. You'll have Republicans and Democrats and Tea Party and the Independents coming together to vote you out. That party lawless stuff won't mean anything to anybody when I don't have any food to eat, when I don't have a roof over my head, and I can't provide for my family like you provide for your family, but you want me to put you back in office so that you and your family can still be on yachts and ride in big cars and take lavish vacation, but me and my family can't even take a walk to the park, the city park, because we don't have anything, no place to stay. We probably sleeping in the park on a park bench. Come on, man. I mean, these are real things that's happening, brothers and sisters. And Shanan makes a great point. I do too. But we got to open up our eyes to see. We got to stop hearing what people are saying and watch what they're doing. Because even our governor here in Georgia with tort reform, he wants to pass a bill now to say, hey, listen, insurance companies, your premiums are high because you got all these companies that's suing people, suing these insurance companies. They're losing money because they are having to pay these large settlements and stuff like that. Well, that's why you get insurance, to protect you. How many of you have had insurance and then all of a sudden you had opportunity to use your insurance policy and they canceled the policy on you because you had one claim and ain't nothing you can do about it? Really? You've been paying all these years, and you got one claim, and they tell you, "Oh, we're gonna drop your policy." They'll make all this money off you. I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah. And then they're saying, "Well, the reason premiums are going up because of all these claims." Well, check Florida, check all these other states where they had tort reform, where they passed those states, southern states where they passed it, and then how did those people's insurance go down? Didn't go down. Ain't gonna go down, but it's to help the insurance company to continue to make money. And they need to put a cap on what insurance companies can charge you. That's where the real rubber meet the road is. Money coming out of my pocket paying you, and then after I pay you, then you turn around and say, I got one claim, you deny my claim, and then you get rid of me. We need to,
and they mandate that you have to, and they mandate that you have to have it by law. Don't forget Brian Kemp was Secretary of State, so he gave license to a lot of these insurance companies to do business in the states. I mean, they were regulated and watched by the insurance commissioner. But do not mistake the fact that it's setting up the business infrastructure and managing the business infrastructure of these insurance companies that do business in Georgia. Brian Kemp was a part of that. I've got a great solution I think that we really need to look at. I think people need to stop paying into insurance. I think we need to put our money in a high yield account and just put the money that you put in the insurance company, put it in an investment account. And if in 5 years or 6 years, or 10 years, tree should fall on your home, pipe should burst or something, draw down the money from that. At least you won't be denying yourself. You'll have the money to be able to pay for whatever it was that you had fixed, because you're not going to deny yourself your own claim, and you put the rest of the money right back in the high yield and wait for another 5 to 10 years for one more thing to happen, and you be able to pay it off. And we need to starve the insurance company into the breadline and beyond.
Well, as we talk about that, you move to that. You have to change the law because the mortgage companies won't.
Well, that's why I said they protect themselves by the law.
By the law. So we got to look at that. Because I don't want people to say, well, I ain't going to pay my insurance now. Well, mortgage company's going to have a problem with that. You're gonna have
that's okay. Put your money in a high yield account. Jeff Bezos don't need insurance.
Okay.
Elon Musk probably doesn't even. He probably has insurance. He don't need it.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah,
happens, any pipe bursts around his house, he can fix it. I don't. He don't have to throw money away at an insurance company.
yeah.
Anything happen around Musk's house, he can fix it.
Oh
And when you
yeah,
put your money in a high yield investment account, you can fix it too. At least you ain't gonna be denied and keep by law giving money to someone that now you got to pay them and pay out of pocket to fix a tree on your house, get a tree off your house, or get a broken pipes or whatever other claim you're doing. No, put that money in an account, let it make money. When it breaks, you fix it, send it to the mortgage company, let them know everything's fixed. I'm covering me because the insurance company by law is making me have insurance, but I really don't have any protection for this property. Anything
because
happen, it's going to be on me anyway.
it's gonna be on you anyway. It really is. It really is. But that's something we have to look into though seriously though because it's a great idea. But mortgage companies, men and mortgage companies, if you're not insured, it's just like car insurance. You can't drive off the lot unless you got you or what insured.
So they all making money,
They're
all
making money.
connected.
They're connected. Let's talk about this boycott that's being promoted on the 28th to begin the boycott. Let's buy black, go black, go find your black business you can go and spend your money at. Starting 28th. Now, listen, let's choke Amazon. Let's choke Amazon. I know we're gonna hurt some of our family members because they work for Amazon, but boycotts always do. But we gotta send a message to those people who are making that profit, that that wealth of money, like Elon Musk, who has a contract with the United States and also now is managing the United States money. But that's the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. That if that ain't a conflict of interest, you getting a billions of dollars of contract from the United States to create planes and stuff, but then now you're gonna be in charge of all the money and where the money is going. Boy, whoop, that's crazy, man. But then I know I'm talking about the boycott, but I got to go back to this. And then Trump said he's not an employee. Well, why does he have so much authority over our money and how our money is spent and how people are hired and fired when he said, I don't have anything to do with that's the personnel department. They the one that's doing the cutback. But you the one said you were cutting, so you the one that's making a recommendation to them as to who ought to be cut. We know you ain't actually sending the letters, but we know that you making the recommendation to the personnel department, the human resource department, as to who should be fired and who should be cut. You making those recommendations. They just
And if
doing
he's not
good
an
work.
employee, if he's not an employee, then what is he? And who are the people that work for him? And who are they? And why are they in Treasury? And why are they in the Pentagon? And why are they in the Justice Department? And why are they in HUD? And why are they dealing with all of our money and touching our stuff? Why are they in the education department? If he is the boss of them and he's not an employee, then who the heck are the people that work for him?
Well, and that's real talk. Hey, listen, look out for more information about the boycott. We've been boycotting, looking at the stores that we're boycotting. The information is going out. It's going out everywhere. Reverend Al Sharpton and National Action has sent out a call and a clarion call for us to do something, to send a message. Join that. Do that. Save your dollar, spend your dollar with black. Find some black businesses, find some black stores. There's a new black store in East Point at Headland and, not Headland, but Stone and Washington Road. There. We're going there on the 28th, about 30 of us, and we're just going to go in and buy something. We don't get nothing but a carton of milk or a jug of milk or some fruit, something, just buying something in our own community. Let's buy black, let's spend our dollars with each other. Buy a bean pie from the brothers and the sisters of the nation. Let's support one another. I know Shannon can talk more and more about that because we need to do that. We need to do
No,
that.
absolutely. We do it, and we need to look at something sustained too. I'm moved by Pastor Bryant's call and National Action Network's call. But we're looking at a 40-day fast, and Pastor Bryant had said with the target that he was really first really looking at his church, and then it grew through social media. The reality is that we have to have the discipline to perhaps go beyond 40 days. like when we look at the history, we need to draw on the history and the spirit of the Montgomery bus boycott. That if we never go in a Target again, because the Target is housed in Minneapolis, is in Minnesota. That's where George Floyd was killed. They said we're going to give a couple $1 billion. That's $2,000 million to break it down for you again. So that to black businesses. Then they come back, get caught up in this MAGA woke conversation in their DEI, and then renege on giving the money. So I think we need to do that. But check this out. Target is closed 2 days a year. They are closed on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Every other day they're open. The Target Corporation does $258 million a day. $258 million a day. At the end of 363 days, because they are closed 2 days a year, Christmas and Thanksgiving, they are going to amass over $91 billion. Okay? Now, with a sustained 40-day campaign, if all of us got in on it, it would hurt them to the tune of about $29 million a day. At the end of that 40 days, it would affect them to the tune of about $1 billion. Now, I just told you that they make $91 plus billion a year. We would hit them and say, well, we took $1 billion away for you for 40 days, and then we're going to come back and give you the billion back for the next 310 days of the year that we are not in a sustain. No, we need to continue a sustain. If it's a year for Target, if we never see Target again until they come back with what they promised they would do and understand the need to for diversity and being culturally sensitive.
Well, Shannon, with that said, remember who is not with us. What did Lamar, what's the guy's name? The one that sung Us? It's about us. That song at the
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
They not like us.
They not like us. They not like us. Remember, they not like us. So remember that, won't you? Hey, listen, you guys. This ain't been nothing but straight talk with yours truly, Greg Fann, the Preacher Man, and Shanan E. Jones. Share, like us, subscribe, make comments, and share. Send Miss C all your news and information. She'll get it on for you. Straight Talk News 1362@gmail.com. And if you'd like to be a guest on the program, we'd love to have you, Shannon and I. If you want to debate our points, we'll debate point, counterpoint. We'll do that. We don't mind it. And don't forget to subscribe to our station too, our YouTube channel. As Straight Talk with yours truly, Greg Fann, the Preacher Man, and Shanan E. Jones and Miss C. Until next week, this ain't been nothing but what? Straight Talk.